the real wargamer, which is a joke, by the way, not to be taken seriously, at the wargaming table with Combat. Combat is a man-to-man wargame covering infantry battles, some real and some fiction, on a tactical level between German and American forces in France, Belgium, and Germany in 1944 and 1945. The scale is 10 meters from hex side to hex side. Each infantry unit is one man. This presents the tendency to use each man individually. Through play, it will be demonstrated that units perform much more effectively when used together as a team. The game is involved and players are urged to take it slow. Once the rules are learned, the game flows smoothly. Okay, so what I'm doing is I guess I am playing Combat, but not really, or not entirely. So this is Combat. This is a mixture, and so I'm playing Combat, but with the rules to Iron Cross because, well, I'm going to try to explain this. So real quickly, not in a lot of detail. So here's the Combat rules. So here's Combat. It's a boxed game published by a company called Game Forms, and it was published in 1981. The game design is attributed to Roger Damon. Then got the designer Mark Sprock. So Iron Cross was published. So Iron Cross was published in Strategy and Tactics number 132, quite a number of years later. And let me see if, yeah, there it is. Issue game, Iron Cross Man-to-Man Combat on the East Front, 1941-42 by Mark Sprock. In whatever this is, 1990. So that's Iron Cross. Here's the original rules, a copy of the original rules. And yeah, there it is. So designers given as Mark Sprock, original design Roger Damon, and then clearly here, I'll set that aside. I like to save that original. I use photocopy the rules. So then basically when you get to, I don't know how you want to look at it, but Combat and Iron Cross, I mean, it's the same. So first of all, it's the same design. So why am I playing with the Iron Cross rules and not the Combat rules? And it's more than just being a time difference. I am almost certain. Let's see. Basically, the refinements in Iron Cross, I prefer the refinements in Iron Cross. I guess the cleanest example, well, let me talk about one example that I don't know what the meaning is, but it's pretty clear. So this is Combat, and this is Iron Cross. And what happens is the morale phase, if you compare the morale phases, in Combat, or maybe I should do the easier one, in Iron Cross, the morale phase is easy, 3 steps. Reveal hidden units, recover pinned and suppressed, and select machine gun modes. Come over to the morale phase in Combat, you have several extra steps. You still have hidden units, that's identical. Then you have voluntary armored fighting vehicle button up, PC to unbutton armored fighting vehicles. So I wonder when that happens in... I'm not concerned about AFVs right now. I'm rarely concerned about AFVs. Recover down units. See, this says recover down units. Very clearly, this is recover pin and suppress units in Iron Cross, and it's just different. You don't recover from down state in Iron Cross at all. And again, it's not a... Well, at least it looks like an evolution of the rules. And then you have place units into down state. So they do call it down state in combat. This is what is, I guess, move PC to recover units from suppression. And then select machine gun modes is the same. What it looks like happened, and this is just a real quick scan, is that the whole thing about recover down units, place units in down state, those two in combat that are done in the morale phase move to an 8th step or 8th phase, free up-down state unit change, which is going from, in combat it's way up in the morale phase, it's going way down to the end of the turn, whereas you see in combat there is no 8th phase, there is no free up-down unit state change at the end of the turn, but it looks like it was incorporated at least partially, if not completely, into the morale phase. So I think I prefer the evolution, the refinement of Iron Cross. And so I've looked, I've compared, and I do believe that I can play combat using Iron Cross rules. As I go, I'll do a few comparisons just for my own, I don't know, interest, I guess, more than anything. But I will be playing with the Iron Cross rules. I should say I'll be playing with the Iron Cross rules unless I, actually become convinced that there's some reason to consider what was done in the earlier combat design. But again, I'm going off of the assumption that Iron Cross is a slightly better, at least slightly better refinement of combat. Okay, but it's still. But then again, I also still consider it the combat game. So we will see how this works actually. Right away, I can say what I'm going to look at here. I'm going to jump right in. I pulled 2 units. Actually, I pulled 2 riflemen. 1 German rifleman, 1 American rifleman from the first scenario from combat. I set up the German rifleman in the down state in this house here, in this building, right away. So in Iron Cross, you have 2-sided counters. You have an up state and you have a down state. Well, in combat, they're only one-sided. Instead, you have these D markers for down state, down marker. And I'm choosing myself, I'm choosing to put them underneath the unit. That's what I'm going to do as convention. Because the well, I guess I can't say that either. But generally speaking, where are they? Generally speaking, I'm going to look at it like this, right? When the unit becomes pinned, or when the unit becomes suppressed as a combat effect, that'll go on top. And then, but the down state marker I'll put underneath the unit. We'll see how that works. Yep, so I'm jumping right in. So I had the American infantryman walk along the road, come on the map, come down the road. I purposely moved him to be within 3 hexes of the German rifleman there. Because, and they're all named just like in Iron Cross. So this is Felsen. Felsen is in the down state in this building, and this is Newton. Newton comes wandering down the road there, and I moved him to within 3 hexes because this is opportunity fire. And again, I'll continue to do some comparisons. So I'm using, to jump in, I'm using the movement phase. right? And I already know the Iron Cross routine, but how does it compare to the combat? So we've got check performance, which we don't have to do. The American soldier doesn't have to do that at this point in the game. You move the units, that's the same. Conduct reaction fire. Oh, isn't that interesting? It's reaction fire in combat becomes opportunity fire in Iron Cross. So that makes me wonder what's different in the combat reaction fire rules. Anyways, mine attacks is the same, overruns and announced assaults. So almost identical, specifically a different reaction fire. Now, of course, I have to wonder, because real quickly, again, this is somewhat review. Very clearly, there are opportunity fire ranges, infantry 3 hexes. So clear as black and white. Felsen has to wait until the American comes within 3 hexes to do opportunity fire. But now let's see reaction fire. Reaction fire for combat is Rules Section 18. I'm just wondering if they have the ranges. This will be very interesting. Huh. I wonder if they do. When using this rule, okay, reaction fire, when you reaction fire, I'm just scanning, but I don't see it yet. AFVs and mortars may never reaction fire. I don't see it. How interesting. That's what I was wondering about that. So it's not here anyways. Doesn't mean it's not in another part of the rules, but so quick scan, I don't see that. And I think I see a reason for that. Anyways, I thought I saw a reason for it before, so I will go with that. 3 hex range. I think so. I go right through my step here. What I did is, yeah, it's under opportunity fire. There is the PC check, performance check. It's right here. Infantry units and AFVs attempting opportunity fire in the movement phase. That's what I'm using here. Have their PC die roll modified by +1. So let's just do that now. So this is the German. So they roll 8 + 1 is 9. So it is performance rating is the third value, which is 8 for Felsen. Isn't that funny? I think the modifier is going to make that a failure. If it was equal, less than or equal to pass. Okay, that is great. You know what? I'm not going to change that. They rolled 8, but +1 for opportunity fire. As a matter of fact, is that summarized? That's summarized. Oh, I also wanted to say that considering what I'm doing, I am using a combination, right? A combination of the combat game player charts and the Iron Cross, which actually isn't correct. I'm using the Iron Cross, but there are times when I will look at the combat player charts as well. Oh, I will need it actually. I knew there was a reason. I'll need it for the terrain. Oh wow. All right, not a huge deal, but the first thing that will have to be adjusted is, well, actually, is there any? Okay, I'm going to do this. All right, I'm going to look at this real quickly. I was wondering about this. So here's the movement and combat effects chart on the left for Iron Cross, the terrain chart on the right for combat. What I'm getting at is that on Iron Cross you have infantry and up and down, different costs. And over here you don't. I wonder how, I wonder if in combat, I'm not going to bother looking because I'm not sure how they handle down movement in combat, but I like how it's handled in Iron Cross. So I'm just going to leave it. So now that makes me wonder, what's the difference in terrain? So we have clear, 1 and 1, infantry and AFE in the up, which corresponds to 1 and 1 for combat. Road, hedgerow. There's hedgerow. Oh. So there is no hedgerow for Iron Cross. So they add plus 2 MP. What's a plus 2 MP over here? Well, what is a hexside terrain that's like? So, how will I change that? I'll probably do like gully is 2 to 3, 2 for infantry up, 3 for infantry down. 1 building hex, 2 and 3, multi-hex building 2 and 3. So what I'll do is, I'll probably just make this plus 3 for down. Road is the same. Stream 3 MP, infantry up, stream. I'll have to adjust for that too. Gully is 3, gully 2. Okay, that's a difference. 1 hex building 2 MP, 1 hex building 2, okay. Multi-hex building, well, same. Woods, 1, marsh, crest, level 1, 2, and 3, level 1, 2, crest, and river. Alright, so just a few ones that I will have to come up with my own costs. Okay. But yeah, that's why I'm using this stuff together, but I am defaulting to Iron Cross rules. Okay, so they did not pass their proficiency check. This is my reminder, though, that he spent 3.5 cost while he's moving, because I had to pause there. Infantry units up, down, 6 movement during the movement phase, movement allowance of 6. That summary, for example, I did not see that summary at all. I didn't see any table for combat. I did see it listed in the text. It's in the text in the rules, but there's something, I can't remember what's different, but this summary is really, really useful. So so what are they saying about are they saying that the American can just now, so that would be 4.5 so I don't remember any like final protective fire or final fire or anything like that, so well, in that case, I'll have him move over here instead. So that would be, let's see, woods. Oh, I guess a single tree is not a, yeah, two plus trees is woods. That single tree isn't a movement factor. So then the cost of changing, that really should be on the movement chart. Is it targeted? No. Nope. Infantry and crude weapons pay 2 MPs per change. Oh, that's all right. Back up for that's 4. Oh, so he's there in the road. So that's 4 there, and then he spends 2. He spends 2 to go down. Okay. All right.